Hello, friends. 2 summers ago, our family took a vacation to Oregon. We had originally planned a trip to Iceland, but COVID put the kibosh on that. Hello, I'm Dr. Renee Harmon. I'm the author of Surfing the Waves of Alzheimer's, a memoir about my husband Harvey and his time with younger onset Alzheimer's disease. I've written a little bit about our family trip to the Grand Canyon early in Harvey's illness. It was a rafting trip, and I wanted to do another rafting trip and introduce this type of vacation to one daughter's husband and the other daughter's fiance. So we rafted down the Rogue River in southern Oregon. It was a 4-day, 3-night rafting trip, guided rafting trip. The guides went ahead of us and set up all of our gear. The guides do all the cooking and most of the paddling. It was like a wilderness pleasure cruise. So in between the very exciting rapids, there's also a chance just to float in this beautiful, silent sanctuary of nature, right? There were mountains and cliffs, and we could learn about the animals and the plants and the geology and the history of the area. One afternoon, we were sitting on the bank while the guides were beginning to prepare our dinner when we heard frantic quacking. Now, you don't usually hear about a duck quacking frantically, but this was one frantic duck. And we looked, and across the river on the opposite bank, there was a duck in the air facing the bank. And we looked closer, there was a bald eagle facing this duck. There was a duck and a bald eagle in a face-off with each other. What in the world? And then we heard peep, 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 and a line of ducklings swam out from behind cover of shrubbery. Now we understood this mama duck was defending her babies. Well, at this point, mama duck took off and flew down the river, and the bald eagle followed her. A few minutes later, she came back and tried to get her babies secured behind the shrubbery again, but the bald eagle had followed her and swooped down and picked off one of the babies. And we watched as the eagle ate his catch and the mama duck silently shepherded her brood back under cover. Oh, that was something, but it wasn't over. That scenario played itself out 3 more times until there were no more ducklings and the mama duck just left for good. Now, as you can imagine, we were all almost traumatized by that. Who isn't feeling some type of way from watching that mama duck defend those babies so fearlessly? And it was emotional. Who doesn't feel emotional and root for an underdog or a mother protecting her babies? But at the same time, I knew this was just nature playing out like nature plays out. The eagle wasn't evil. The eagle was just being an eagle and surviving. But the bravery of that mother duck was something. And it put me to mind of just being a mother, and how if you have reared children, you likely resonated with that mother duck. And if you've been a caregiver or been involved in working with the more vulnerable population, you know that feeling. You know that sensation of wanting to fiercely protect the defenseless and the powerless. And we have to be vigilant and protective of those in that situation. And isn't that what we are called to do as caregivers to our loved ones with dementia? At the very least, we are called to make sure that they're safe and content. If we can make them feel loved and cherished, all the better. I was certainly a mother duck to Harvey. Early in the disease, I fiercely protected his privacy. Later, I sheltered him in social situations, and I was a staunch defender of his personhood to a few uncaring staff in a very few facilities. And in the end, I did let nature take its course as I held his hand as he crossed into the whatever is next. May you be a duck, as brave as a duck when caring for your loved one. Thank you. Be well and keep your balance.